Welcome to another edition of the TED Exclusive series, and this time we have two guests from Armenia that are joining us for this interview. Thank you so much, gentlemen. If you could please first tell us and our viewers what your jobs entail and where you're from. What was the purpose of attending the TDF?
Okay, let me start. So I'm representing an institute, think tank called APRI, Applied Policy Research Institute of Armenia. This is like 3 years old institute with some diaspora Armenia major engagement. Before that, I spent 26 years with the United Nations, traveled all around the world, and Afghanistan, Syria, Somalia, Sudan, whatever, many places, Central Asia. So I know the world pretty well. And I'm happy to be back in Armenia and trying and have some other engagement also in Armenia, trying to find some solutions for our problems.
Great. And you, sir?
I am a head of Armenian think tank, Analytical Center on Globalization and Regional Cooperation. This is Armenian think tank. And I traveled in many countries, maybe not so big number, but near 50 countries. I want to say that this event is a very high-level event. Thank you very much for this invitation. And what is important to me, Iran is not only our neighbor country. Iran is our friendly country. This is very important to understand.
Why do you describe Iran as a friend? Does it go back in history, or basically what are the premises?
I mean everything, and common history with the Iranian nation, with Iranian country, Iran country, and today's common interest in very important, very sensitive issue connecting with Iran and Armenia. For instance, common border. Iran-Armenian common border is geopolitical border. Why? We have common interest to keep this cooperation. I don't speak about another area cooperation. And what I want to say, some weeks ago, Iran and Armenia organized common military exercises. This was crucial changing between our relation, from normal, good relation to strategic level.
Exactly, you're absolutely right, please.
And if I may compliment, I just was mentioning the same at the panel, because we all know that Armenia is a Christian nation, you are a Muslim nation. At the same time, I think Dr. Zarif mentioned that Iran unique specifics in dealing with international issues is we don't bully our neighbors. We build opportunities together with our neighbors. And Armenia, Iran, I think, has 11 neighbors. Armenia is the only Christian nation. But Iran-Armenia relations are very unique. And to me, this is a dialogue of civilization in real life. It is about, because dialogue means of civilizations, two different worlds, but they talk, relate, militarily, economically, trade-wise, etc., etc. So there is a lot of complementarities between Armenia and Iran, and friendship is very deep. We also feel it here.
Of course, and there's also a huge Armenian population that lives in Iran.
True.
Are you familiar with the people who are from Armenian descent that live in Iran and the business they do? Okay, so how about trade relations between Iran and Armenia? How important are these relations, in your opinion?
Let me give you an example. I think I was talking to an American political, senior person recently. He said the major achievement of Armenian diplomacy in the last 35 years is the fact that we convinced the West that we need special relations with Iran, and we convinced Iran that we need our special relations with the West. And both sides accepted this as a matter of life, and there's no jealousy. You are with us, you cannot be with them. It's not a binary, either this side or that side. This is about, and one day Iran may need us to talk to the West with the language we can use. Or the other day, West may need us to talk to Iran, trying to find the common bridges or common denominators.
Exactly. So, sir, do you believe that, as your friend just described, Armenia as a bridge between Iran and the West, how strategic do you see this relationship, and how much can Iran depend on that?
I agree with my colleague. Maybe small breach, but we can be a bridge between, for instance, EU and Armenia. As you know, we have excellent relation with EU, and now we did a resolution to start a process to integrate in EU institutions. We are member of Council of Europe. Armenia and South Caucasus are part of Europe, but in the same time, we have excellent relation with Iran. Why we can do so that Europe maybe better started to understand Iran. For instance, Iran nation, Iran state have a right to use nuclear energy peacefully. It's a very natural right. And it will be need to work with Europeans and Americans, and Armenia can be here very useful to you. Why I want to say we have many areas where we can cooperate, and as you know, Armenia cooperated and before intensive in energetic area with Iran in another areas against another countries who worked with you. USA used some sanctions. But in our case, we have a right, no problem, and we will continue to cooperate with Iran. We will continue, and we are ready to be useful in different areas.
What are the potentials between Iran and Armenia in terms of the relations that they have? How far can Iran and Armenia go?
I don't think there's any specific limit in our approach. We have huge, for example, the gas supply, natural gas supply, is only 10% comes from Iran, 90% comes from Russia. I think we can absorb much more, and we need to diversify. This is one simple example. But there are many other things which Armenia, for example, Armenia technology sector is booming because we have very strong Armenian diaspora in Bay Area, San Francisco, and I have family members living there, etc. So that's why a lot of, let's say, modern knowledge, technology comes to Armenia much easier than many other places. And there are things which with Iran we can find a common denominator. Education is a very important factor. You mentioned about your sister studying in Armenia, and there are many cases. I mean, I'm sure Armenians will find some interesting opportunity to study here. Iranians will find things to study. We have American University of Armenia, and we have French University. We have, I don't know, Russian University in Armenia. They all have offerings, some different interesting packages. So it is about, let's say, not limiting our, let's say, horizon and trying to explore what we can do together more.
Would you like to add something?
I want to add and transport communication projects. As you know, India with Iran signed very important agreements connecting with ports and so on. And we can be part of this project. India, Iran, Armenia, through Georgia to Europe. So type projects are very realistic. I know about negotiation between our countries. It will be need to use this potential with Iran. If Iran will start to realize some nuclear programs. Armenia, you know, has the nuclear power plant. We have serious experience in this area. We can be useful. I'm sure you resolve this issue with the West. I'm sure Iranian position is very flexible now. Why we can be useful? You know, level of our physicists, nuclear physicists, doctor, before started to be a politician or expert. I know our very high level potential, and I know big potential of Iranian citizens, Iranian scientists. We can cooperate.
And judging by what you say, there's a bright future for both countries.
Yes.
Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thank you.